Hey guys, welcome back to BoxPred. There is a fight for the WBO Super Flyweight title this weekend, and it sees Omar Narvaez going up against Jose Cabrera. This fight is in Argentina, home nation of Omar Narvaez, whereas Jose Cabrera is from Mexico. And my prediction for this fight is a victory for Omar Narvaez by unanimous decision. Just a little bit of background. Omar Narvaez is the guy who just lost to Nonito Donaire by unanimous decision, and it was a pretty awful fight. Narvaez failed to throw pretty much anything of note, and he looked like he was just there for survival, really. He went up a weight to challenge Donaire for the bantamweight titles, and he was clearly too small. And Jose Cabrera recently fought Daniel Rosas to a draw. That was actually an interim fight for this belt, this WBO Super Flyweight title. Rosas has since gone on to fight Fernando Vargas, and he won a split decision over 8 rounds against him. And Jose Cabrera is here fighting for the title. So let's get into it. Let's look at Narvaez first. To begin with, pretty much for the whole fight, he likes to keep a pretty high guard. His defense is decent, and he seems like a pretty durable guy. I mean, he's only had that one loss against Nonito Donaire, and yes, he was in there for survival, and he came through without being stopped. Other than that, he was pretty much dominating that flyweight division. He was undefeated against the guys he was putting against, and yeah, he seems pretty durable. He's not a technician, I wouldn't say. He does swing wide. He throws wide loop, hooks. He doesn't really throw any straight punches. He's the type of guy who looks to move inside for shots. He sort of stays on the outside, and then he doesn't really set anything up with a jab. He just wants to get in there, um, just jump inside and start throwing those wide shots. He does this very well. He has good movement, good foot movement for that particular purpose to get inside. It seems because even against rangier fighters, there's a video up of him against a couple of fights ago against the guy called Cesar Seda, who was quite rangy and was trying to employ the jab and looked like a decent boxer, but he struggled as Narvaez was moving inside. He was able to effortlessly sort of walk inside on Seda, and so that proves that even against guys with some range, he's able to get inside, and he's pretty good at doing that. He has lasting stamina, and this is the key in this fight, I think, for me. He has tried and tested stamina to go the distance, and he can keep the pace pretty much for the full fight. I think that's going to be key in this fight, because I think this could be interesting early on. Moving on to Jose Cabrera, he needs to start fast. He, at the beginning of his fights, I think, seems rather sharp and crisp with his punches, and he keeps quite a wide stance. He likes to, size up his opponent, try and maintain that distance. I think in this one he's going to have to try and employ a stiff jab, and early on he's going to have to come in with set his rapid fire combos up with a good stiff jab. Because early on I think he can make a fight of this, and I think he can really he could take the good early rounds, like 3 or 4 rounds early. He could take them. He needs to look to counter Narvaez with straight punches. Like I said, Narvaez throws very wide punches. I don't, see much technical superiority there. If anyone's technically superior in this fight, I actually think it's Jose Cabrera. It's just, can he employ those tactics? Can he carry out that game plan? I think he, should be focusing on trying to counter Narvaez as Narvaez comes in. Try and put those punches straight down the pipe, because Narvaez is open to straight shots. Now, for some negatives, I've seen Cabrera tire after about 4 rounds. Even in the 4th round, he's started to look sluggish, his work diminishes, and he allows himself to get pushed back. If you look at him against Daniel Rosas in his last fight, that was the case. If you look at the 4th round, he starts to look sluggish, he starts getting pushed back to the ropes. And it's a shame, because it looks like he has some really good ability. And even in his sluggish mode, he does get some good shots off and seems to be he does do some good work. But I believe that that's going to lose him this fight. I think he's going to struggle going down the distance. Narvaez has never been stopped, and you can't really gamble on stopping Narvaez because Narvaez does have a decent defense. The thing is with Narvaez, he's one of these guys who, when he's attacking, he doesn't really particularly need to defend because guys are not really, you know, he is quite difficult to counter because he puts quite a lot of pressure on, and until someone, tries to, like I say, counter with those straight punches or has a really good inside game and can absorb pressure and come back with something, it's going to be difficult. It's difficult to stop him, and I just think that Cabrera's going to struggle with this. I don't think he has that type of pressure resistance needed to deal with Narvaez effectively. Because Narvaez has his best defense. He only really defends when he's standing on the outside. When he comes in, he doesn't really use defense because he doesn't, like I said, he doesn't need to. But I think that Cabrera needs to try and keep him away on the outside. And I think that's where he's going to get his best work done. That's where he's going to have time to get his shots off. I think he's quick enough to do it against Narvaez. He can actually have a free rein. When you start punching Narvaez, sometimes he gets a bit like Arthur Abraham. You can just unload on him, and he won't come back with anything. He's not really a counter puncher, so to speak. So early on, I think Cabrera, when he's sharp and quick and fresh, if he starts fast, he can pick up some of these early rounds. That's his best chance. And if he really, if he looks at the body, he can try and wear down Narvaez a little bit. But I just think that early on he may have his way, but I think Narvaez is going to start pressuring him from like the third or fourth round onwards, and I think he's going to run away with the fight. So early on I think it's quite competitive, but down the stretch I think Narvaez takes a unanimous decision here. So thanks for watching. Please let me know what you guys think about this fight. I know Narvaez really failed to impress against Nonito Donaire, but he's gone back down to super flyweight now. This is his favoured weight, and it has been pretty much all his career. So yeah, thanks for watching. This is BoxPred, and I am out.